ahead as well. In fact, in the latest episode of Deep Dive, Salesforce's Vala, Afshar, as well as Gartner's Naveen, Vishra also decode the next phase of AI, from agentic AI and autonomous software to India's staged adoption journey and massive data center push as well. Here's how enterprises they think are gearing up for the AI era.
In the context of Indian companies, what we see is there is a staged maturity pathway, and that pathway includes three phases. Phase one, which basically talks about the pilot, the experimentation, doing POCs, starting small, finding those use cases. That's where majority of the Indian enterprises are. They are piloting, they're experimenting. Now from there, then we move to the second phase, which is the stabilization. And this is where Indian companies are working very hard to get that AI-ready data, that regulation, that governance, that risk management. All of that is getting done, debated. And that's where some of the early adopters who have moved through the first phase, they are working on the second phase and handling the complexities. And then the third phase, as we call it, which is a cross-enterprise adoption, where there is a product embedded AI. Now, Indian enterprises are still not there. Very handful of Indian enterprises who are doing it. So when you think of this three-staged pathway, a lot of the Indian organizations are in the pilot stage, and now they are pivoting towards the second one, which is stabilizing the environment, getting the AI-ready data, getting governance, all of that together. This is where we believe that the next 12 months of effort, or even more than that, is going to be spent by enterprises, by even providers who are spending a lot of money into this whole AI environment. So that's how we see AI adoption in India.
Naveen, if you speak to some of the investors globally, and they claim that India is an anti-AI trade for them because we are in early stage of adapting to AI or in executing AI. But we are very far off from where some of the companies in the West or maybe some of the companies in China are. How critical you think is critical thinking skills will be, and how will it impact IT companies? Do you think that there is a code to how to manage AI and AI services?
Well, this is a complex question, and let me break it down one by one. India, I don't think, is anti-AI trade. For example, India has plans like AI Mission. Indian data center companies are investing a lot of money into GPU as a service, which actually acts as that AI infrastructure to train and drive models, frontier models. Some of the popular LLMs which are there, they are getting trained in India for the Indian customers, and that's part of the trade and AI trade that we can think of. So clearly there is more investment, and we have seen the news of how variety of large data centers, such as one which is coming up, 1 gigawatt data center which is coming up in southern part of the country. So more and more such data centers are coming, and that illustrates that there is a huge investment happening within India. That's one part. The second part, which is the critical thinking. And yes, there is this ongoing debate about cognitive skills. What's the role of these cognitive skills within India and in general, and it's not only in the Indian enterprises, actually. It's also about the students and the kids who are using AI to get their assignments done. Now, the way we look at this is, yes, there are going to be checks and balances as well in place when AI is being used, critical thinking plus AI together. And that's where the new value delivery, the new experience is going to happen. So we definitely believe that variety of enterprises are going to put some checks and balances where they will see how AI is being used to drive the productivity, the efficiency, a lot of those discussed benefits, but at the same time, they want to enhance the mental aptitude of individuals who are using those technologies. So, in other words, AI is going to actually unleash and unlock the potential that every individual have rather than limiting their potential. And that's the way we need to look at it.
What are the potential risks which are there, and how do you mitigate them to ensure a positive return on investments?
Look, with any emerging technology, there are always risks. We've been in tech long enough to know. This is why my advice to business leaders listening to this show, trust should be your number one core value. And trust is competence and character. And competence is reliability and capability. Character is integrity and benevolence. I love the word benevolence. Your intention. What is your intention for introducing new technology? What is your intention in terms of ensuring your employee and customer success? So as long as you're guided by trust and customer success, I think those two powerful guiding principles can help mitigate risk. And I think the most risky thing you can do right now is stand on the sidelines and watch this evolution of business models and technologies, and that's the biggest risk. And if you're standing watching, you're falling behind. This is moving faster than anything that I've experienced in 30 years of tech, and I have the privilege of working with the fastest growing companies on earth, double-digit compound annual growth rate companies, and there's one unique fabric in their DNA right now, and that is AI is a boardroom conversation. The CEO is actively involved, and she is looking at the line of business, specifically the CIO, the CRO, Chief Revenue, Chief Information, and Chief Human Resource Officer, as a team sport in terms of defining strategy and making sure that they're playing the game as well as their competitors in the markets they serve. So trust, be guided by trust.
Naveen,
Co-powered by